Well, hello there, you two, and welcome to a kind of a foggy, very light kind of mist in the air Friday, the 11th of November. Today is Veterans Day, so deep appreciation to all you fine guys and gals that serve to keep us safe and free here in the United States and other places of the world. You guys are our heroes. Old Kylie out there, she says, I'm about to bed down. Look at her, she's about half down out there. Anyway, I saw there's so many people burning their brush and stuff. It almost smells like there's a fire off in the distance somewhere. There's not. All the fires are gone, but it has that nice fireplace brush burning smell. Anyway, let's bust out a Friday. Sadly, everything's to that point. It's just switching to brown. All the colors and the beauty slipping away for 2022. Gotta wait for it all to swing back in 23, which will be next week, right? The way time flies, that's what it seems like. 47, mostly cloudy, but definitely some pretty skies here and there. That was very nice. Very pleasing drive to work. Well, Mama?
Yes, I have.
It is Friday.
Yay.
Yep. Yay, it's Friday.
Yes.
All right, Mo. Let's go in there and bust her out and hope for a good weekend. Maybe we can sneak in a ride or something this weekend. Wouldn't that be nice?
That would be very nice.
It'd be cool, but it'd be nice.
Uh-huh.
Bundle up.
Yep.
All right, Mama. Have a good day.
You too.
Love you. See you. Bye.
I love you.
Bye-bye now.
Bye.
Dang. Man, if any bike was ever going to pass, it's this one. I mean, this thing looks like it just came off the showroom floor, even though it's almost 13,000 miles on it. I think that's even the original tires on this thing. This guy is not a hot rodder. He's not creek crossing, doing anything weird. So we even ran the test twice. Failed twice. And what's funny is when they fail, because man, you can't believe how hot this gun gets. It's cooled off a bit now. Never doubt a Milwaukee, I can tell you that. And it has to be a Milwaukee. To do the test, has to be. There's no other option to do this test. So we had to go buy one. I didn't buy one, the store did, so it's a BMW tool now. So we ran it through twice, and it failed twice. Adam, who was down here, he had one down here that failed, and we weren't using the cross handle on this thing that bolts to it. Yeah, that smarted really bad. That, and it's crazy loud. I always see him wearing earplugs, and I didn't even think about it. And he goes, "You got any earplugs?" And I go, "Well, I had the ones they were providing, but they get dirty or whatever, so I tossed them." And then our supplier for that stuff just never brought any more. It's just those little headband looking things with the earplug ends on them. So you drill a vent hole down here. What's happening is, a lot of water. If you do a lot of creek crossing type stuff, water gets collected in here, and it can damage the universal joint inside there. So what you do, the first thing you do is the first part of the test is, did water come out? And if it was it more than a drip or two? And there's no water. I knew I was going to see no water in this one. And usually the ones that fail are they look pretty rough. They look like they've been around the world a couple of times. But anyway, so we even did it. I go, should we do it again? He goes, yeah, sometimes the second time they'll pass, I said, do you usually feel? This is my first time doing this test. Adam's got all of these so far. The ones that I've done were the mileage was under, if they're under 1,200 miles, or something like that. The test isn't, you don't have to do the test. You just have to drill unless a bunch of water comes out. If the water comes out, we have to do the test. And I don't know how many of the 3, 4 or whatever, they were usually first service bikes. And I've never had a drop of water come out yet. So I don't know how common it is. It's enough that it became a bulletin. So anyway, you hook all this fancy doodah things. You got a jig that goes in here that bolts down where the wheel bolts, and then you bolt this great big looks like a ABS wheel, and then you got to adjust. I've moved it out. You have to adjust this between 1/2 and 1 millimeter, and I just go halfway, and it's not bent or anything. If you somehow or another damage that, you got to have some clearance, but it needs to be within 1 millimeter to read correctly. That's the same thing with, I've seen people that, their ABS wheel will somehow get bent, and it comes out and it rubs the end of the ABS sensor, and it has metal there, but once it gets far enough away, it doesn't read correctly anymore. And when it goes on the dead spots, because the dent will usually be outward, rockets or a stick or something gets in there, and you just keep getting an ABS sensor failure, and it ends up a lot of times when it hits them hard enough like that, it grinds the tip off enough that the sensor fails internally. So that must be a guide point right there or something, huh? They don't go into details of how they built the tool. They just tell us how to use it. Man. So, I mean, it's no big deal. We have to put a drive shaft in it. But that's a whole nother poop show. It's not too bad. But just put a shaft in it at this point. And but it's not something we can stock. It fails. We have to order it by the VIN. And they send one. It comes pretty quick, but the guy's not rolling out today, and that's what I hate worse than anything. And then all this stuff, so it comes with new, just like BRP and everybody else, so you gotta take the suspension bolt out, because you have to measure there's a measurement of 140 millimeters between the eye of this and a bolt on the frame. So to do that, as you can see, the shock has to come down, so it's getting a more level plane, which is probably more of like a race sag, a normal ride height when you're riding the bike is probably what that's mimicking, because the bike very seldom sits fully unsprung. When you're flying through the air for a moment or two, going over a jump, that's about it. Otherwise, the shaft is farther up. I'm assuming that's what that's mimicking. We had a tool for that, but it kind of disappeared. Nobody knows. Literally, Adam and I are the only two that touch BMWs. And what it was I had a hook that went in between here, and then had the, what do you call it? When you tighten a cab, it escapes me. But anyway, you spin the little tool until you get your measurement. So now ratchet straps get used because you can't get the tool again. It's part of a whole kit, and we're not buying the whole kit. I wish they'd break the parts up in a kit, because sometimes you damage one of the tools. This thing's like sideways expensive. This whole kit, because it has a computer that gets interrupted between the bike, the VCI. So the VCI is talking to the computer, and I don't know why it has all this stuff talking to the bike, but basically this is the one that's performing the test based on what it sees. So I don't know what, it must sense a notch or something. Like I said, he had one that failed and the gun kicked back on him. And so I'm holding on this thing for dear life, thinking something crazy is going to happen if it goes wrong. And he goes, no, they're pretty smooth. I said, what's it sensing? No idea. Somehow or another, that computer sees something And there's these different segments. You know, there's a certain RPM. You hold it, you watch this progress bar, and it's a long red bar, and in the middle is a green. It starts out low. That's a certain RPM. The next RPM, the next RPM. I think it's 5 segments that it goes through, and the last one is holding it wide open, just wah. And that's where you don't want it to fail. That's where the one he had kicked on him. Whew. I'll stand right here, bang! That smarted. Anyway, don't know how it determines good or bad, but at the end, you either get a beautiful green check mark and says pass, or you get a big red X and it says fail. And then you got to make sure you save it, because BMW sees everything you do, and they'll see the test. They probably see results and things inside there that we have no idea about. But yeah, you got to verify all the fails and the passes. Anyway, that's how my morning started out, with a bummer. I was expecting to just put everything back together and go on with my day. See, that it's anything that uses that micro encapsulated thread locker you replace. Although Adam pointed out something. He goes, be careful. Even though I've told him over and over and over, there's 2 different, between a GS and a GSA, there's 2 different length bolts. He goes, guess what happens when you put that bolt in? That goes right through here. So he gave me the wrong bolts here, so I got to go have him correct that. But for now, because the bike's not going anywhere, just put the old ones back in. Even the suspension bolt. See how once you use them once, and I don't use guns or anything that has Loctite on it. Don't ever use a power tool. It overactivates the Loctite, and it becomes like JB Weld. Oh well, not the best way to start off a Friday. God, it's supposed to be nice tomorrow. This guy's probably got all kinds of little dreams going in his head on where he's going to take his GSA. And here it sits in the shop. That's what bugs me more than anything, because I know that feeling. And I empathize with these people big time, especially when you go, well, can't let your bike go. Driveshaft test failed. Oh well. Stuff happens in life. You just gotta take it with stride and move on. Anyway, so now to make this thing mobile, I gotta take all the tooling stuff off and make it rollable. And then take it back apart when the shaft comes in. It'd be great if they'd let us stock them. Just pull one off the shelf and I can put it in right now. All right. I know you guys have already seen it, but there's yesterday's vlog rendering at 4:29 yesterday for you guys when you watch this. Woo! I don't know how long it's been since I charged the battery on that thing. That's a lot of crunching to do a video, but I was able to add like a little bit of a dead spot here in between things. And Kelly's trying to get out of here early. I said about 4:35 I should be ready. And I'd say that'll be about it. So as soon as that thing's done rendering, we'll shut her down, put her in her nice little case. I love that case. What is that? Case Logic? Yeah. Look at the inside of that thing. Ooh, it's so nice. The iPad Pro just slides right in there like she was meant to be. This thing's getting a little long in the tooth, this whole iPad Pro. There's like 2 or 3 generations after this thing now. Then they went to M1 chips. Now they got the M2 chip. I need to upgrade. I have no problems with that thing. As long as it's working, why mess with it? If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Alright, I think I'm going to call it a wrap on that. As soon as that thing's done, I'm going to roll. Well, hello there, YouTube. Man, it's nice and warm out here tonight. It's 36 degrees.
Yeah, it feels good.
Yeah, I should have just wore my t-shirt out here. This coat's going to burn me up. after, what was it, 26 or something last night when we're sitting out here.
Yeah.
That was cold. Although, once you're sitting here,
It starts to eke in. Yeah.
yeah, it's nice and warm in the house. So it feels like 26 out here.
Yeah.
Oh, you guys know how I always go in the Windlock and I turn and go up the town, and then we'll come back down and we'll turn, and it's that one-way road that leads back towards State Route 505? Yeah, 505. That's right, yeah. 505 goes in the Windlock, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah, it does. And there's this building on the corners. I don't know if you'd ever remember. It's where we either go straight and head to that one-lane bridge, or we'll take a left and head out of Windlock. Man, it was, what, 3 nights ago?
Yeah, 2 nights ago.
Yeah, a thing pops up as I'm doing the video, and it's saying, the Chronicles live in Windlock. I was like, that's weird. What the heck would be going on in Windlock? That old building from, I don't know, it might have been the turn of century, well, I guess century before last now.
Yeah.
But there's a picture that Kelly found and saved it in the photo stream from 1912. And the building actually looked old then. But anyway, that thing, I still haven't heard what happened, but she burnt to the ground.
Yeah.
That's going to be really weird to go through Windlock and that building not being there.
That's
horrible when something like that happens. I mean, something like that happening ever is never a good thing, but, you know, some old historic building. And people were commenting, you know how you can comment on those videos when they're running live, and some lady goes, I had my ears pierced in 1989 in the salon down there. Yeah. I go, Kelly. So I'm telling Kelly she's doing something else. And I go, how in the world would you know in 1989? She goes, girls remember when they get their ears
Girls
pierced.
do. You ask any girl when they got their ears pierced. They're going to know.
Man, there's people living above there. Everybody got out. And everything's okay.
Yeah.
But, yeah, terrible. You know, you got something beeping in there?
Yeah, it's beeping.
I thought you said we had 5 minutes.
We did. That's before you were yammering before we started.
Not here that long at all. But anyway, it is cold, and I think that's the dinner bell ringing.
Alrighty. Well, thank you guys so much for watching. We really do appreciate it. We will talk to you tomorrow. Same smoke time, same smoke channel. Don't forget to give a thumbs up, and you guys have an amazing Saturday or Sunday.
Heck yeah. And if we can get out for a ride tomorrow, we were talking about this on the way home. It's supposed to be nice, but really cold.
Yeah.
But if we get out there,
yeah,
we're going to whiz out that way and go check out that building. So we'll show you tomorrow. So sad.
I know it breaks your heart.
All right. We'll roll.
We'll see you then.
All right. Thanks for watching now. Bye-bye.